Alright, I'm going to start my video off as usual by showing you what I'm carrying today. This is my Ranger Green S&G with a 3/4 ground drop point, and the blade steel is Z-Wear. I'm also carrying my newer gray Paramilitary 3, and this one is in crew wear. And I have my LM nail by Strider knives, which I think I can get that in the video. Let's see. It's kind of a faint stamp, and this one is in 3V. So all tool steel that I'm carrying today. Now let's roll the intro. Alright, today's first video is going to cover this knife here, which is the Schatt & 26 Stockman Whittler and orange jig bone. Apparently this is a limited run, one of 30. I'll have to tell you guys, I did a quick video last week on this knife, and I didn't have good stuff to say then, and I don't have great stuff to say now. If anything, I'd say it's about the same, maybe a little bit worse depending on your nitpicks. The blades are very well centered in the frame. They do not rub. That is one good thing. The transitions, they're not the greatest. You can feel pretty much each transition. And if you're not familiar what I mean by transition, I mean from the bolster to the bone cover. Can you feel that transition? And you can hear there that there's a definite lip on the edge here that you can feel on all of them. The main blade I had a problem with as far as the pull, the way the pull was. I said it felt like there were rocks in the pivot. Now I don't quite feel like there are rocks in the pivot. It has smoothed out. However, the pull is not it's not nearly as smooth or it doesn't feel as well machined as a Great Eastern cutlery knife. And I think you can see that a little bit in it sloppily slides into the half stop, and then it does kind of snap home, but you can see there's just that half stop is very soft. Just very soft half stop. Not very pleased with that at all. The pull has gotten much better. Like I said, it's smoothed out significantly, but it's not as smooth as it could be. I don't know if I'll be able to show this because of the way I'm facing. I think you can kind of see it all the way from the tang all the way down pretty much to here. There is a significant gap between the liner and the spring itself. That gap that you see there pretty easily, that gap is supposed to be there. That's where those springs, again, this is a split back Whittler. That's where these two springs converge and make one. There's a gap here because the liner ends back there. So that's to be expected. Someone mentioned the shield, and they said that, you know, they feel as though the shield is not totally recessed because that's a way to cut corners and save on the cost of the knife. I can't comment on that, but I will tell you, you can easily feel it, and it is pretty proud. It's not necessarily the favorite way I would do it. I'm not a fan of the jig bone still, as I mentioned, and it doesn't really come across in the camera, but this jigged section here is actually more recessed than these edges, so it feels like the knife kind of dips in the middle. The knife, as I said, it did come with a decent edge on it. The bevel looks like it might be a little bit wider, which means that the edge angle would be a little bit more acute. It does feel like it's lost some of its sharpness. I did carry this all week. Not a terrible knife to have in pocket. It worked fine. The spade blade was okay. It's okay. As you can see here also, there are no rub marks. That's just some grease or oil, but there are no rub marks on these blades. So whatever they're doing, they're definitely getting the placement of the blades and the blade wells done correctly. Now this blade here doesn't have any wobble. However, this blade here, now I'm going to try to see if I can't get it to show on camera. Can you see that? That blade is wobbling so much that you can see it on the camera. That is a huge issue to me. Again, this is a $100 knife, guys. I don't see how you can charge $100 for a knife that has that kind of an issue. No, it does not rub. Again, as you can see here, I'll try to show you. That's not a rub. That's, I don't know what that is, but it does. Oh, the blade, you can see it's kind of wavy. So that's how it was kind of ground. Again, that's not something that you would see on a GEC knife, a wavy blade like that. But this wobble is just, I mean, look at that. This is not a knife that I would personally recommend. I wouldn't spend, especially if you're going to spend retail. This is a $100 knife. I would not spend $100 on this knife. It is well centered. It is stainless steel. It's not specified as to what the steel is specifically. This is bone. This shield here is, I believe, just glued in. It's not pinned in. You can feel the transitions from the bolsters to the bone. The springs are pretty well laid out. I can feel a few sharp edges here, like right here. There feels like you can see it right there. That's a metal shaving. The gap in the back spring, and again, I don't know that I'm going to be able to show it. Like I said, you can kind of see it. It's on the top now, and it's pretty significant. The wobble of the pin blade, the walk and talk of these blades also. It's like there's a two-staged pull. It's like you kind of hit a half stop type place here, then you kind of hit a half stop right in this area, and then the blade wants to pull open. So the tang of this blade obviously wasn't ground too well. You can see there it kind of wants to stop there, it kind of wants to stop there, and then it closes. It's the same exact thing here, and when you pull it open fast, it feels like two clicks. There's a click here, and there's a click right here, and there's a click right here. It just feels like it just stops. So there are two flat spots on this tang as well. Again, just the machining is not done as well. This knife has really made me appreciate my Great Eastern cutlery knives. I guess I should mention, and I mentioned this in the first video, I had a Queen Made knife a few years back. It was an Indian River Jack by Northwoods Knives, and that knife had several fit and finish issues. The main issue that I had with that knife is the centering was off so much. It was a single blade knife. The centering was off so badly that the blade was almost touching the liner on the other side of the knife. That's just totally unacceptable, especially the type of money that you pay for a Northwoods knife. So I'm gonna have to say I'm pretty much done with Schatt & Morgan. I'm pretty much done with Queen. I'll give a few other brands a try if I come across a knife that looks interesting to me, but this has definitely made me appreciate my Great Eastern cutlery knives. And I know that I've made some mention about my Great Eastern cutlery knives in some videos, and there are some things that I think could be improved upon, especially the last two runs of Northwoods knives. I think there were some pretty significant issues for what Derek is promoting that knife as, for him to promote that knife as a premium product. I think that we have to make sure the fit and finish is up to par. And I know that Great Eastern Cutlery produces the knives, but if Derek is going to say it's a premium product, I think that he needs to hold Great Eastern Cutlery to that bar of being a premium product, especially when you're paying $20, $30, $40, $50 plus dollars for an equivalent Northwoods variant of a Great Eastern Cutlery knife. So that's my opinion on that. But overall, I am much more appreciative of my Great Eastern cutlery knives after carrying this knife for a week, and I just showed you why. I appreciate you guys watching. Please continue to watch, and I hope to catch you in the next video.